Hey YouTube, Audio Olympian here, back with another video coming to you from the Coliseum. Okay, today's Battleground video, we are going to be talking about a very exciting speaker, the new Paradigm Founder Series floor standing speaker. So stick with us, we're going to get into that video here in a second. If this is your first time visiting our channel, we want to welcome you. Thanks for stopping by. We'd appreciate if you went and found an old camcorder and recorded the like button falling down, then you could have the next video that goes viral on the internet. Okay, so I'm sitting here with the Paradigm Founder 80F. This is the entry level of their floor standing speakers. They have one a little bit bigger, which is the 100F, and then they have the 120H, which is a hybrid speaker, which is the flagship of the Founder series. And that has a powered subsection into it. So that's my main goal, is to upgrade to that speaker. But I thought I'd start out here with the 80F. Now, I was quite shocked. This is probably, outside of my golden ear, this is probably the best floor standing speaker that I've had ever as far as build, quality, and price tag. And I gotta say, these things are amazing. Way, way bigger sound than I expected from a pretty medium level floor standing speaker. Now, I'm used to my golden ear Triton 1Rs for my music listening. And you can see that there in the background, or even the one right behind me here. That is a big speaker. It's got plenty of drivers in it, passive radiators, powered subwoofer section. And this, I was expecting to be quite a bit less quality, or less quality of sound, than the 1R, and to my surprise, it was not. It creates a very huge sound stage. And it is so crystal clean and powerful and strong. Now, when I say powerful and strong, I don't mean bassy. I don't mean it's going to, thump you or hit you in the chest like a subwoofer, or if you have other speakers or towers that are powered. This is not going to be like that. This is a passive speaker. It's not a powered speaker. But I got to say, for these things here, 38-inch height, it is a solid build, and that's 38 inches with it on the feet that come with it here. And solid build. This has got some good weight to it. Very, very dense cabinet. And it comes in 3 different finishes here. This is the black gloss, but it comes in a walnut, a black walnut, and then a midnight cherry, which is very similar to the black gloss, but when you get up really close to it, it has a nice wood grain texture beneath the gloss there. So I think that's the model I'm going to end up going with. I was very fortunate enough to get these in here from my local dealer, who I've been shopping and doing business with them for 20 years now. Great people. They happen to be Paradigm dealer. Martin and Logan, Klipsch, Parasound, and then Golden Ear. Definitive. They were Definitive. I'm not sure if they're still Definitive. I know some things, just in chatting with them, they've told me some things have changed in the sales market as far as what companies are letting dealers have their, or display their models and have sales for them. But luckily, I still have a very good high-end dealer around in our small little area, in our small town, and they get great equipment in. And I've been a big fan of Paradigm for a very long time, and they used to be more of they had a lot of budget and mid-level entry line of speakers, and they've kind of gravitated away from that into more of the mid-level, high-end level line. Of course, their Persona line, and a few years back they had the Prestige line, and they still do make speakers for all budgets for people there, but it's a little bit more on the higher price scale than what they used to be. However, they've always have made great gear and great equipment. So I've always been a big fan of Paradigm. So when the Founder series came out, of course, a lot of people got them. A lot of people were talking really, really great things about them. Lots of good reviews. So I decided, you know what, let me see if I can dip my toes in the Paradigm pool out there and see what these speakers are like. So I was able to get these in on loan here. These, again, are the 80F. It's a smaller speaker, just standing over 3 feet, but it has some weight to it. You can go to their website and check out some pictures that they have of how they design their cabinet and what's inside of it. So in talking about the sound of it, I'm not going to get a lot into the detail of the design and the speakers and so forth. There are plenty of videos out there with great content providers making really great videos that have all that info there. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the sound and the sound quality that I got here out of the 80F. Now, I have always been curious and wanted to hear or even get a pair of Paradigm Persona, just haven't come across the right deal or the right opportunity to get those. But when these came out, the price tags of these were quite a bit lower, and in watching some interviews and reading some information, some of the designers there at Paradigm said that the Founders line is very, very close to sounding like the Persona. So I thought, you know, that's a great start for me there. So now, how does it sound? Crystal clear, very, very strong, very wide and huge, huge sound stage. I was surprised and shocked. Now, I'm used to my Triton 1Rs, which give me a grand sound stage and just tremendous sound and agility and speed and power. So I wasn't expecting much from these, being it's a lot smaller speaker and it's not powered. But I was quite surprised on how large the sound was from it. Crystal clear highs. It is a little light in the bass section for my taste. If you don't want to have subs and you just want to run a simple 2-channel system, this does have good bottom end, and it will definitely suit you if you just like to hear low end. Doesn't have to be chest thumping bass for you. That's how I kind of like my bass. I like nice, thick, fat bass. So this was a little light for me, so you will need a subwoofer to go along with it. So I listened to it for a few times, few songs here without the subwoofer, and then I then I turned on my REL sub. It's the 1205 HT, which is actually a home theater sub. But it's 500 watts, 12-inch. Great build, great look, great design, and it punches good for music. So when I hooked that up, turned that on, and then played all my tracks over again, it was a remarkable blend. It was very, very good. Very clean. Again, much bigger than what this looks. And I believe it's the design of the tweeter here, because as you can see, this wide array on it, it kind of really projects the sound out, similar to a horn, but it doesn't have the harshness. It's a lot softer and crisper and cleaner than a horn sound. So I was really anxious to hear that in person. I've heard a lot of good things about it on videos and read stuff, but I was very anxious to hear that in person, and it did not disappoint for sure. Okay, getting into the mid-range. The mid-range is very, very full and actually has really great depth in it of itself there. But the way the mid-range and the tweeter blend together is quite unique because it doesn't beam at all. So no matter where I kind of stood or moved up and down, I didn't get okay, there's the tweeter sound, there's the mid-range sound. If I moved up and down or left and right in front of the speaker here, it gave me the same sound all the way through. So I thought that was pretty unique. Now lastly, talking about the bass. Again, this speaker here was a little light in the bass area for me. So it wasn't flat. The bass, like I said, if you just want to run a 2-channel system and you don't like to have subwoofers or you don't have a lot of room, don't have the room for a subwoofer, this will give you some good bottom end. But I prefer a little bit more heavier depth to my music listening and sound. So the bass here, I am going to say you are definitely going to need a subwoofer to go with these to get that full range sound there. Okay, so just giving a little bit more detail in some overall sound on the Paradigm Founders 80 speaker here. I'm going to explain a little bit of what I heard and felt in a few songs that I listened to with it. Again, I'm still listening to these, so I'm still getting used to them, but man, they're fantastic and amazing. Something I didn't expect from your average aluminum dome tweeter. Those usually have a certain sound, but I believe it's because of the large waveguide around the tweeter that gives us an enormous, enormous sound stage. On top of that, it makes it very sharp, but not harsh. It's not pitchy. It's very clean, and it's not ear-piercing at all. I didn't like to use the word sharp, but that's kind of the only thing that came to mind for me as far as thinking of just nice, straight, clean lines without any distortion in there. So one of the first songs I listened to was Sarah McLachlan, Angel, off of her live album, Mirrorball, which is quite an old album there. Listened to it on the CD player. And her voice, the depth, her piano playing, you could even hear at times when her fingers made contact to the keys of the piano before even pressing down. So to me, I was really blown away with that, thinking, wow, I don't think I've ever really heard that so prominent before from any of my speakers, including my Golden Ear. But I kind of wasn't really listening to that for that then, so I'm gonna have to go back and compare that. Next up was a Santana cover song that he did for the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Under the Bridge. And his guitar playing on that is phenomenal. If you're a Carlos Santana fan, which I am, love his guitar playing and his fingering, his strings, his chords that he can create and hit, his speed. He plays very, very fast too. And it just made it seem like him and his guitar were right here in front of me. And sometimes in certain songs you can hear them move their hand up and down the neck of the guitar to get to the different notes to hit different chords. And you hear that zzz. That was so realistic sounding that it just made me actually feel like I had my guitar with me and I did it on my own. And I heard the sound there. That's how realistic it was. Next up, I listened to Adele's new hit, Easy on Me, and the voicing was just so clean and clear. Very warm. Now, I will have to say on this song, these speakers weren't as warm sounding as my Golden Ear, as my Tritons, but it was still very warm, very good depth, tone, and timbre to her voice. And when the bass drops in there, that's where it really kind of set a difference between these types of speakers and my Tritons, or maybe even the Founders 100s, which I'm eventually gonna probably move up to those there. As I've said, these speakers are a little light in the bass area. So in order to get that full range and that full sound stage, you're definitely gonna wanna have or need to have a subwoofer with them. Which Paradigm makes excellent subwoofers. You can choose any one of those and it'll probably aid in with the sound and blend seamlessly. Perfect sound for you. I just use my REL, my HT 1205 500 watt 12-inch subwoofer, and it sounds very, very, very good together. Actually, they sound very sweet together. I love listening to the sound that they have there. So when I added that in, that really stepped it up to a whole new level there. But again, without it, it's probably going to be a little light in the bass for you. Okay, so that's about all I have here for the speaker. Gives you a great, huge sound stage, very crystal clear and clean sound. But it is lacking a little bit in the low end, so you're going to want to have a subwoofer for that. But if you're thinking about these and starting with the 80s, you won't be disappointed. Like I said, very huge, loud sound for a speaker of this size and caliber. But you're definitely going to want a subwoofer if you want to round out that bottom end there. But thanks for watching. Leave a comment down below, you guys, if you have these or if you like these or if you want to get some. Go ahead, ask any questions. Don't forget you can follow us on Instagram at Audio Olympian, and you can go over to Instagram, and I got a lot of pictures with a better quality type of camera on there. Bunch of different angles and shots there if you just want to see something a little bit more up close and personal on these speakers here. So thanks for watching and have a good one, guys.